So the last time we left off with Brother Bob and Sister Rita, a lot was going on. Last week was very subject oriented because, like I said, we're coming to the latter part of this intersectional reading, this cross reference reading situation. It has been most edifying for me, and I thank you for all your comments and letting me know how it has been for you. We have an entire playlist that you can go back over, and some new people who come on, you can go through the playlist. And again, I've learned so much I did not know a lot of this stuff, okay? So I promised the last time when I was on live that I was going to read about that situation that Bunny Wailer spoke about, and I found it. It took me a little minute. It was in Sedella's book. And so we're going to read up to that part, and then we're going to read back what Bunny Wailer said about the ring in the water and all of that good stuff, or not so good stuff, right? So we already heard from Sedella's mother all about how Rita had broken Bob's heart because she give on and have a baby outside of an extramarital affair where him deny forever, right? The depths of Nestor's sadness over Rita showed during the final days of his sickness. Because the mother's kind of darting around. They've been having issues. She notes that. She notes all of the other people them. One day, a Friday, when we were in Germany at a rented house, Nestor and I, yeah, why I said I, real Jamaican like, Nestor and I, because I don't know where H's come from on, I'm sorry. Ooh. Nestor and I had a silent chat about his life. Sick with brain cancer and given up for dead by his American doctors, he was to be operated on the next day at the Esel's clinic. Rita was also in Germany, but had gone away to some city to promote her album One Draw. Nesta was missing her, One draw. I'll continue. We talked about their life together. Nesta complained that Rita had never washed a shirt for him, never cooked him a dinner, never boiled him a cup of tea. I think I went over this before. Nesta. Meantime, Rita's like, you fight her because she make dinner and it did late, but she never have no stove and she have to catch fire in the middle of the kitchen. And then Rita said, I one, Rita didn't say shirt, I one drawers. So they put this all out. And like I said, I feel like Rita was answering some of these allegations. If he never boiled a cup of tea for you, really? I asked him where he usually ate supper, and he replied here and there. Maybe because he was here and there, maybe because he was outside and not necessarily home. But how could you be together that long and never got a cup of tea? I reminded him of the Jamaican proverb, dog with too much owner go to bed without supper, because each owner thinks the other will feed him. He chuckled and looked downhearted. Finally he stirred. Mama, he remarked bitterly, you no see it no make no sense that Rita come here. For she not do nothing for me. It's interesting that at this time I could not imagine what she's feeling like in this moment, given how and the way the story played out, and that when the person had their strength, how they treated you, how they made you feel, right? And then now you are the wife, you are the magical wife that transitioned back from sister to wife, and now you're supposed to come. I'm not saying no, I'm saying that this is a very curious situation that only Rita can tell us how she felt in this moment, right? Finally, he stirred. No, I said that already. I tried my best to cheer him up by saying, Nesta, she soon come back. But she said, no, that you're sick. She have to earn the bread and butter. And as we've hearing, this Rita is always concerned about where the money is coming from. She has children, she has responsibilities, and she's wondering where is it coming from. Nesta is sick for like six after he does the last concert. He's sick for the next 6 months, right? He's overseas for 6 months. So I think she said, Rita said, and I'll read a little bit of her portion, that she got an offer and that she took it up and, doing what it is she doing. It says, I tried my best to cheer him up by saying, oh, I already said that. Bread and butter, he spat scornfully. She just come and she gone. He was quiet for a long while. Then he sighed and said mournfully, Boy, Rita, when me meet Rita, no, him a reminisce, no, you know. Rita live in a one little shack in a trench town, full of cockroach and rat. Sedella, why? Sedella, oh, Madabuka. Hey, oh, hey. If he said this, Bob, when she met you, you hardly didn't have a place to live. According to her, she was willing to sneak you into her little abode, right? You were sleeping on a door. I don't know. Me take her from there. And me go buy a place in a Bull Bay Gibar. The way he hopscotched over the timeline. I think at that point, it's 3 or 4 children deep. And they were at Auntie the entire time in the one room. Me take her from there and me buy a place in a Bull Bay Gear. Now the Bull Bay place came why? When she came back from America and had Stephen, and she came back realizing that she had to do something for herself. And then she hears about this housing scheme, right? Me buy her property in a Clarendon. That's the farm that she wanted. Me buy her house by Washington Drive. I think Don Taylor speaks about Rita wanting a different house to come closer from Bull Bay, and she wanted this big house, and he's like, no, I can't sign off on that. And then Bob is saying, oh, Rita love money too much, and all of this stuff like this, according to the narrative, allegedly, right? But Bob is now, according to his mother, recounting. No, she gone up on top of the hill. He fell into another brooding silence. Finally, he sighed and said softly, I'm not ready for this. This one, when I first read it, I was like, what? Why, memories don't live like people do. They always remember you, whether things are good or bad. It's just the memories. These memories not live like people do. Memories. Memories. Hear him now, now. Mama, is Rita give me cancer? Rita gave him cancer? I would have had to ask him, explain. I was shocked. Nesta, what you saying to me? How could Rita give you cancer? Hear him no, no. Imagine. Yo, Jamaicans, anytime they want to like ramp up a story, they got to tell you to imagine, right? Because they want you to picture, it's like, picture this, right? Imagine, he continued. Me left Rita and gone go work in a England fair. This is the remix, remix, remix. And when me gone, Rita breed for me friend. I can't, yo. I'm sorry, this is not supposed to be funny. This is not funny. This is the remix. He said he went to England. Remember, by the time he goes to England and signed with Chris Blackwell in the year of 71, the worst year of Rita's recollection, he breed 3 women in the same time, she being one of them, right? Him get born left and right. Him run up and down with Esther Anderson. Him tell people say I know him wife. I can't tell them a play a fight. And them a go back and forth. Them a struggle in every sense of the word. No, him a say as she give him cancer because when he got England, she breed for him friend. Nesta, I said, me never know that. You take it so hard. I began to cry. I couldn't help myself. I was so torn up by all this, his terrible suffering. Rita got to pay you back, I sobbed, for everything that she'd do to you. Did you really say that, Sadella? Did you really say that? Because if we remember correctly, if memory serves us correctly, the minute they got together and used and Rita starts writing you the letters, and after they get married, she is telling you what's happening. You're seeing the back and forth between them. You're saying he's has to learn to box him woman them. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how she got to pay you back for everything that she do to you when they were equally doing it to each other. Pay me back? How she going to pay me back? I was weeping helplessly. I searched for the right words. I don't know. Even if she have to wash your clothes and drink the water, she going to have to pay you. I know you were trying to comfort Nesta, but what kind of wash the clothes and drink? When Rita returned from her promotion tour, I took her aside and told her what Nesta had said, that she had given him cancer. Rita denied it. She said that Father Jah had given Nesta cancer because of his wickedness to her. I saw Sidela say no. Say Rita I say. So this we have to take this because she's saying this is her first-hand experience and what Rita's saying. That she is the primary source of what Bob said to her and what she transmitted to Rita and what Rita said to her. It's his father's genes, but it's not the creator, it's Norval. Norval had, they're saying of where this type of mutation of this particular cancer could come from. But we go on. She gave me for one instance, she related how one time Seeker Patterson, one of the whalers, told Nesta something she supposedly done. So she's telling us who told him. Enraged, Nesta bundled her into a car and he and Seeker drove her at night to what is this? Palisados? Palisados, the claw of land that encircles Kingston Harbor. Remember, we heard something to this effect from Bunny, which we're going to read again. It says, they walked her down to the windward side of the claw, where the big waves crashed daylight and darkness, scraping the shingle with wind, foam, and thunder. I night then said, then they go down there. Yep, at night. So this is scary. It says, there on the desolate stretch of ocean, Nesta ordered her to take her wedding ring off her finger and give it to him. Then he flung it in the raging water while she wept and trembled on the beach. This is Rita saying the things that was done to her. Rita had just finished this tale. Wait, pause right there. We're gonna come back and read that part. Let me go to this commercial, cue up what Bunny said, kind of in the same vein, and then we're going to finish out this chapter. Island Twist follows Jackie Brown, a young girl who finds herself head over heels for the new island boy at school in fresh outer yard, and Jackie has the fever. But as she navigates the ups and downs of her new crush, things quickly spiral out of control when her not so secret admirer becomes determined to sabotage her relationship. So check out the new novel Island Twist over on Amazon today. Now back to the story. All right, so let's listen to what Bunny says again. He says the Whalers were then acquainted to Rita just having a baby named Sharon feeding from her mother Rita's breast while still inviting a member of the Whalers, Peter Tosh, to her Rita's sexual activities. So this would have to be 66, right? Then afterwards it was Robert having returning from the US in 1966, that would be November, after being married to Rita, who tried to invite Robert and even myself to be the father of Sadella, but Sadella's not born in 66. So, whom in reality was Mortimer Planner's child. So basically, they're pinning the baby on Mortimer Planner, who is the mentor for Rastafari for them. And but Bonnie is saying that Rita was, for lack of a better term, flighty. Now, again, remember we just read the last chapter where when Bob was away, he said to her, don't go to the studio. Like, stay home, stay with the baby, do not go to the studio and chill out. So, like I said, it could have presented this way because she was at the studio. She was doing what she was doing because the way he's saying it, who's going to refute it? He's saying that she invited Bunny, she invited um, Peter, and now he's even putting Mortimer in there. So it's giving a bad aesthetic. At minimum, it's giving a bad aesthetic. Robert, in his frustration surrounding Sadella, and with I also being counted as her dad, already set by Rita, counted as whose dad? Rita, Rita and Plano, before I, Bunny Wailer, returned from Richmond Farm Prison in 1968. So, Bunny, how was you counted as the dad? Unless you went there, could you have been counted as the dad unless Robert, confused by Rita's performance with her daughter Sadella, this would have to be after, no, because when he sees Sadella, according to the mother, the reason why he names her Sadella because he, look, mama, when me looking at her baby face, me see you. So he wasn't confused at that point when he first named the baby, but after there is some paternity doubt. Scared Robert into complete frustration, making him to remove his dreadlocks from his head and throw both the ring, marriage certificate, and his trimmed dreadlocks that he, Robert, removed from his head into the Caribbean Sea, which I, Bunny Wailer, hold as facts until Rita have proven otherwise. So him a level accusation, for Bunny Wailer to believe that Rita is still a Marley. Okay, so right there and then we have Bunny recounting something about cutting hair, throwing a ring. He put the marriage certificate in there. When Sadella is saying that Rita told a story, there is no marriage certificate. But let me read Rita's version again. It says, she gave me one for instance, and she related how one time Seco Patterson, one of the whalers, told Nesta something she'd supposedly done. What could have enraged him so? Enraged, Nesta bundled her into a car. He and Seco drove. That means that Bunny would have had to heard it. If he wasn't there, he would have had to hear it. Now the question is, when did Seco Patterson become a whaler? If we were really going to dig deep into this cross-reference thing. If you know, drop it down in the comment section below. Because then it could kind of give us a time of when this was happening. Drove her at night to the Palisades, the claw of the land that encircles Kingston Harbor. They walked her down to the windward side of the claw, where the big waves crashes daylight and darkness, scraping the shingle with wind, foam, and thunder. There, on the desolate stretch of ocean, Nesta ordered her to take her wedding ring off her finger and give it to him. Then he flung it into the raging waters while she wept and trembled on the beach. So that in his mind, he ain't married because he bun it up. He threw it away. Rita had just finished this tale when Nesta shuffled into the room looking sad and tired. So he went through all of that when he had his strength. He wasn't married. Rita, I'm gonna name Rita, and all of this stuff, but now he's looking for his wife. It says, um, we're ready for go now, he muttered, and we drove down him to the hospital where early the next morning we would undergo surgery, she says. That Saturday, Rita drove to Munich to buy flowers for Nesta, and she brought another two bunches, a big one for her and a small one for me. She also brought a plastic heart, for this was February and Valentine's Day was coming. She placed the plastic heart among the big bunches of flowers in a vase we delivered to Nesta's room at the hospital, where he lay bedridden after his operation. Nesta fought back from the operation until he had enough feeble strength left to go back to the rented house. When he was moved, I took the heart out of the vase as a keepsake. I have Rista's plastic heart with me unto this day. I find it interesting the way that last line read. I know she told us the heart was plastic, but plastic is also, when somebody said somebody have a plastic smile, it's like fake, right? I'm not saying I just read that interestingly. I have Rita's plastic heart with me unto this day. She could have told us she had the plastic heart, right? But she has Rita's plastic heart. Let me